Next is from Anthony Hunt. The subject is ESPN not impressed with Wrestlepalooza. K100. Greetings, crew. Looks like the big partnership is off to a rough start. PN is saying other than the Stephanie Wagner match, every match was underwhelming. They rated the show C-. You guys, surprise, Wrestlepalooza was a big letdown. PN is not happy at all with how the show went. Your thoughts? Sincerely, Anthony Hunt. My thoughts are, Santi, that you got a sub 100 IQ. Easily. Okay, because one guy, Andrews, what was the guy, Andreas Hale or something? One guy wrote his review of the show. Okay, ESPN, the people in charge of ESPN, they're very happy because they did good numbers of it. So you're misinterpreting what ESPN is. All right, idiot. All right, any comment on the city, Konnan?
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's one, like you said, that's one guy's opinion. Right. I mean, they're making money and it's a hot product, and I'm sure ESPN is happy. They wouldn't be having all those stars that they have every week. It seems somebody news on the show, on First Take or Sports Center or something like that. And they wouldn't be showing all those clips, or they wouldn't be showing the Wrestlepalooza special that I saw. They're all in on this.
The take on Twitter is at this, and Andreas Hale, who also
he was watching the AEW pay-per-view, loved it.
He's like an AEW booster.
Well, not really. I looked at his.
I'm saying that's what the take is. Yeah.
Just because he likes AEW, I mean, I've never heard of this guy. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, this guy's getting platformed because he's on ESPN. Like, nobody would go to ESPN to get the wrestling content ever. And now people are looking at ESPN because the one guy wrote something about it, I don't know. I looked at the names one time for the wrestling people at ESPN. Mark Romaldi's the only guy that I know that's done any wrestling content that I've heard of, So, were you in that book, Konnan?
What?
Didn't that Mark Romaldi do it? What's his name? Romaldi, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't on me. It was on the NWO.
No, but you contributed that, correct?
Yeah, but I wasn't into that much. He sent me the book, but I wasn't into that.
Well, you shouldn't have been in it that much. I don't think so.
Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
So we're moving on to Raw.
No, the rest was just I didn't watch Wrestlepalooza.
Yeah, I didn't watch Wrestlepalooza, Konnan, but I did watch Raw. I had to replace my.
I did watch Wrestlepalooza. Okay. And
so you thought? So no, I saw highlights of this. So
yeah, I'm just telling you because I said I was going to watch it, and then I wasn't able to.
So Brock gave Cena just a little bit of offense. He just killed him, beat him in 8 minutes 50 seconds, stood over him, exited the ring, then circled the ring, then came back to the ring and delivered an F5 to the referee. He picked up Cena and delivered another F5.
Made the kids cry.
Kids were crying in the crowd. They actually got the shots of the kids crying in the crowd. What do you think of this?
I don't understand if they're not going to have a rematch, why he beat him so convincingly. Didn't we see this 10 years ago?
Sure
when he did all those suplex on him and all that?
Yeah, that's where Suplex City came from.
I mean, I think the second time, if you saw both, and does he do anything besides F5s and suplexes? Can we get a match out of him?
He just leaned on it. Once it became the easy thing, the thing that got pops,
I thought maybe that we're going to have a rematch in Boston, but because I thought, okay, this is a great setup for Boston, his last match, but I'm reading it isn't. They're setting him up for Braun Breaker and WrestleMania, but I don't think you got to destroy John Cena to do that.
Isn't his
I did not like this.
Let's be honest, though. Okay?
We are always honest.
Well, I'm just saying, how many dates does John Cena have left?
Just a handful, right? He's wrestling AJ at a
going to be sellouts, regardless. So you've got you got value in Brock again. Now Brock is back in the main event picture for the title or whatever. Like he's right up there again.
If he's, I guess they are going to continue to use him, right?
Brock has always been a unique professional wrestler. It's like when they try to get Goldberg to have matches, It wasn't entertaining.
Goldberg doesn't have the same aura. You're right about that.
Right, but Brock's Brock is an actual former UFC champion, so he's a different vibe when he comes to the ring, so he doesn't have to do a bunch of like wrestling and stuff.
Yeah, but
so
Brock can also go in ways that Goldberg never tried to. Brock could go with AJ or Bryan or Punk or whoever, Cena, Yeah, but they're saying, actually, I just looked on it. It says Lesnar breaker at WrestleMania is a possibility, and Cena's next opponent is AJ, so I guess they're just separating them. That was it. Well, with Cena and Brock.
What was funny is when Tyrese Halliburton was like in shock because it was an apropos expression given the fact that, so much of WWE's been centered around Cena's retirement tour. And then they had some special on SportsCenter the night before with Peter Rosenberg, which I don't understand why he's one of the commentators. But anyways, and Tyrese was on there putting Cena over. So I know he didn't expect to see this.
Well, I heard that the morning of the show, he was supposed to go over.
Oh, yeah? But really?
Sorry, red plans changed, supposedly. Wow. Why don't you go, once you ask, you shouldn't book meetings with these guys. Why don't you ask what the deal was with that?
Yeah, well.
So next was the Vision against the Usos with, what's his name, LA Knight's the referee. There did some spots with LA Knight teasing friction between him and Jey Uso. He was going to go, Jey was going to hit LA, he went to go swing the chair and he almost hit LA Knight with the chair, but he pulled it back. Braun Breaker landed a spear on him. Then he actually hit Braun Breaker in the back with the chair. And if you can't even really see it.
Yeah, you really can't.
At the point of impact, the chair bounced up so quick and hit him in his own forehead that he got busted open.
Yeah, because I had to go back about 3 or 4 times and look at it and go, where?
I know that you probably saw the same angle I did.
Yeah. I
watched another clip of somebody with the slow motion, a crowd shot from the side. And you can see it from the side angle. Like the front angle was just very, very unclear, but from the side angle you can see it. But they spears both of them, the Usos through a table, and the Tsunami, and they beat the Usos.
Not a big thing, but something I noticed. They actually came into their old theme music where they're both on the vocals.
Right.
And it got a huge pop.
Io Sky against Stephanie Vacker. Everybody said this match saved the show or was the best match on the show. They went 20 minutes. But I imagine it was pretty good because both these girls are good.
It was very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Vacker's
and Io Sky did what everybody, and this is for the young talent because the office is looking at you, the guys at Gorilla are looking at you. When you lose, besides the fact that you shouldn't show it on your, body language or face, you should always try to put on a great match. So, even when you lose, you win. And Io Sky did that here.
Well, I'll wait till Raw before we talk about Vacker. Okay,
all right.
Because she's a promo on Raw. They don't want it. That one make some comments about her. And when they bowed to each other after the match to show respect. Not a fan of that, to be honest. AJ Lee and Punk against Becky and Seth. 30 minutes. They did a bunch of weird spots in this where AJ was laughing hysterically. Becky was scared of her. I don't know. But the finishing sequence is set up for manhandle slam on Becky and a pedigree on Seth. After a bunch of reversals, Becky threw AJ into Punk. They crashed through a table with Rollins landing on top of them. Then Becky dragged AJ back in the ring, but AJ managed to surprise Becky and applied a Black Widow submission in the ring, and Becky was forced to submit. What did you think of the finish?
So I got the finish. It was all right. She put her in that Black Widow thing when she was going to go, I was all right with it. I didn't expect anything more. I just think they give him too much time, whether it's in a match, 30 minutes is way too long.
Right.
Whether it's in a promo, they give him way too much time. AJ looked a little rusty. I mean, she hadn't wrestled in 10 years, but she didn't look bad. Mm-hmm. They did a lot of, this was not a technical match. This was supposed to be a fun match. They did a lot of double T moves like the sliced bread, the running knees, stereo running knees, double shining wizards.
Right.
You're in there
with one of their best female workers
Right.
and 2 of their best male workers.
Right.
And they obviously knew, all right, we need to make this look good. And AJ hadn't wrestled in forever.
Right.
So we're just going to do things that make her look good. And we're not going to do anything that she does that looks bad. We're not going to do that,
Right. Right.
Which is smart, So
Right.
just like that, I
Right.
say, when I train green people or people that, dude, if you don't do something that don't looks good, don't do it.
Right.
It makes you look better. Like if you do look at
Right.
things
And
that
they
makes you
did
look
easy
worse.
to
Right,
get
yeah.
pops. Like at
Right.
one time, I saw Punk was doing the sharpshooter and she was doing the Black Widow, and then
Right.
later Lynch and Rollins did a double pedigree.
Right.
So like they did a lot of fun
Yeah.
spots. They was smartly set out,
A lot of entertainment.
set up.
Right.
Yeah.
McIntyre and Rhodes. The story here was Drew was saying all he wanted was a fair shot. It was straight up match. He wants a fair chance in this match against Cody, right? But they did a spot at the end. I'm sure they're going to feed into this where Drew had Cody in front of the announcer's desk again and was going to deliver the Claymore kick. Okay, and the referee was pleading for him not to do it because they had already, they were already selling Cody with a head injury from the night before with the Claymore kick, right? And Wade Barrett was making a strong point. Why is he stopping them? That's a legal move. So I'm not even curious. I obviously know what Drew is going to say on Friday when he shows up. What's going to be his out on this is the ref. I wanted a fair match and the company screwed me because the referee wouldn't let me do my thing,
Right.
which is like, I don't know. I get it, but and Drew can make the best of it. But I'm curious to see what Drew's promo looks like here.
I just think he loses too much. When he's going for the title, they need to give it to him and give him a good run. I mean, he deserves it. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. I thought this match was good.
Right.
They have good chemistry. Yeah, and, you were right. At the end, he was going to, do the kick, and he missed, right?
Yeah, then we finally let it go. Then he missed the kick.
Right.
That led to him
injuring the leg.
Right. Then we went into the finishing sequence and he lost.
Right.
It was actually like the turning point of the match that led to the finish, so I'm sure that'll be the talking point. So interesting. All right. So
it's incredible to me, Disco, and maybe to you too, how much this guy loses and he still stays over and interesting.
Right. Another thing too, dude, this was Football Saturday, okay? Which is if you're watching ESPN on a Football Saturday, right? This it's all college football the whole day. Bro, there was so much WrestlePalooza content all over ESPN programming in the middle of college football all day long. And it's like, dude, it's like these guys, like everybody says, oh, you're trying to get that Legends contract. I'm like, dude, they're doing everything to increase the popularity of this brand. Like just
they might as well promote them, but it makes them feel special when you see, you're watching sports and they're like, oh, Cody Rhodes just beat this guy, and you're like, huh? So
you're watching. I'm at the gym doing cardio, and the TV's on. I'm watching WrestleMania, watching wrestling highlights. It
almost feels surreal.
Yeah, it does. It's like I've never seen that in my lifetime. Like just see sports, and now you're watching.
If it was a legitimate sport,
right? So yeah.
And everybody on the, Stephen A. Smith, everybody there likes wrestling.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so that was WrestlePalooza.
Let me just say this. I thought the second half of the card was good. I thought the way it began was kind of a little bit of a downer. You do make a good point that, Cena's on his way out and they're going to keep working with Brock, but still I think it was kind of a downer. You could hear the crowd went down. Backer and Sky definitely stole the night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just thought the main event left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith.
And I like that it was only 4 or 5 matches.
Right.
Did you see?
Like they're doing that in AAA on Saturday. That's like 4 matches.
Really?
Yeah. And then the Dominic celebration.
When I grew up with, if I went to the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, and drove down, there's probably 7 matches. Right.
Right.
But if they wrestled at the Cobb County Civic Center, which was 10 minutes from my house, there was 5.
Right.
And it's like that's a typically 2 hours. 5 matches, 2 hours. So
it's kind of how I grew up too.
Yeah. That's another thing. People complain. I hear people complain about the 5-match cards. Like it's not. It's like, dude. It's like
I think
there
that's
is
great.
so much wrestling content on TV. It's like anything over 2 hours. It's like, bro, everybody's getting exhausted with SmackDown with 3 hours
Yeah.
Right.
and Raw. It's like it's too much. So
SmackDown
it's like,
was way too
and now
much.
people are complaining that like they're only having 5-match pay-per-views. It's like, dude, that's plenty.
Right.
This isn't like going to an NFL game for 3 hours where they're playing for real. These are people fake fighting. You know, it's like you don't need 3.5, 4.5 hour shows. You know, 5 matches is fine. So
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.